So I think emotion always comes first. Like, no matter how much I try with perfection, emotion always comes through. And I do feel connected. I like the composers, I study the music, I analyze it.
When I'm working with Americans, it's like they're from a different planet.
But sometimes that's really hard. You have rehearsals, it's tiring, it's like emotionally, mentally, you know, it's a lot.
So, welcome to this very special Schnitzel Goes To Hollywood episode today with Alexie Koh. And she's a very young talent from the Bay Area, Palo Alto.
Yeah.
Am I right?
I live in San Francisco now.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I've been there lately, like in October.
Yeah.
It was so lovely.
Yeah.
I loved it so much. Yeah, and first of all, would you like to introduce yourself?
Okay.
With your own words?
I'm Alexie Koh. I'm 15 years old and I live in San Francisco, California, so in the United States. And this is my first time in Berlin here. I'm here to see Iskandar and to play a concert, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
Do you like it so far in Berlin?
I do like it. I thought it was gonna be colder, but the weather's actually quite similar to San Francisco.
Yeah.
I was told it was gonna be very cold, but actually right now it's similar.
It's 49 degrees.
Yeah, in
right now.
San Francisco it's kind of about the same, but
Yeah. What happens inside of you in the last 10 seconds before you start playing?
Oh, okay. So it depends where I'm playing. Is this a lesson or a performance or practicing at home, or is it all of them?
Do both, please.
Okay. So when I practice at home, it's usually just me and I'm in my room and I have my violin, right? So I don't know. I like to warm up first. So I'm probably thinking, oh, what scale am I gonna do? Or I'm probably thinking, what key do I want to, what scale do I want to do? Before a lesson with Iskandar, I'm probably thinking, don't mess up, otherwise he's gonna be mad.
Is he actually mad sometimes?
No.
Okay.
But I just want to think that he'll get mad so I play better. You know what I mean? It's like if you think about something happening, then I don't know. It just helps me play better. And I just like to be really prepared for my lessons. For performances, it depends on what performance. Tomorrow's Germany performance is going to be a lot different than a performance back home where I'm more used to it. So back home, I'm at the San Francisco Conservatory of Music and I have recitals there sometimes, I do performances, and there I'm quite used to it, but I do get performance anxiety. So before, if I'm waiting backstage, I'm probably thinking, just go out. I like to think, this is what I like to think, and it's different from what I actually think, but I like to think, just go out there and have fun, you know? Everyone's gonna love listening to your music.
I love that approach.
Whatever happens, you're gonna be okay with it, and you're just gonna have fun. And I don't know what actually happens in my head. That's a really good question, actually. I'll pay attention next time.
Okay.
But I'm probably thinking, I'm really nervous, don't mess up, don't trip on your way to stage. But I just really try to enjoy my time on stage, because after all, it's just to have fun, you know, and it's to make music and share it with others. And I really love doing that.
So it's fading. At the start you're a little nervous, and then it's getting better and better, and then you have fun in the end.
Yeah,
nice.
As you, before you step onto stage, you quite focus on the thoughts in your mind, and then when you start playing, you kind of relax a little bit. You just get in the zone where it's just you and your music. You close your eyes, and then you're basically fine.
Oh, nice! Oh, nice. You started in the age of 3.
Correct.
Am I right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you sometimes still feel this joyfulness, this curiosity?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's still so much to explore with violin. I'm always getting better. I'm always improving, always finding new ways to improve, finding new repertoire. I think there's an endless amount of repertoire, an endless amount of fun that you can have on the violin. So I'm really excited to continue my journey. It's been long and not easy, but it's definitely really rewarding. So
you said in one interview that music chose you.
Music chose me?
Yeah, you said that. What do you mean by that?
I don't remember saying that?
I saw it in the internet. It must be true.
Okay,
No.
I'll talk about it. I was 3 when I started, and I think what happened, I'll just tell you what happened. I don't really remember it because I was so young. I think what happened is like my parents had like a ukulele or like a guitar sort of thing, and I really liked going and playing on the strings. So my parents were like, oh, maybe she's interested in music, you know? So we found this really great teacher, and I started lessons. I probably didn't always like it. I know there's sometimes I was like, I don't want to do this, you know? I heard I was really rebellious, like with the bow, right? My teacher had to tie a string to control the bow because I was always like, don't touch me. I was like, I know how to do it because I was like small.
No.
But then, I don't know, I guess I fell in love with it afterwards. So maybe it really did choose me. It just like became such a big part of my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it gives me so many opportunities, like coming here to Berlin, and I'm so glad it chose me.
What does music give you that words can't?
Okay, this is a really good question, and I've actually thought about it so much. Sometimes when you want to say something, you don't always find the right words to say it, right? Like, or sometimes it doesn't come out the way you want it to, and then you say something and you can't take back your words. And if there's someone listening to you, they might misunderstand you. They'll be like, what does she mean, you know, right? But with music, there's no right or wrong way to play something, and your audience, they can interpret it one way or another, but it's not right, it's not wrong, you know? It's not like, it's your own interpretation. And I think that's what I love so much about music. You can tell a whole story with your music, and you really can't do that sometimes with your words. And sometimes with words, it's really hard to get them out. But music, you just let it out and you play. So I love that.
Totally agree. What kind of vibes do you get from your audience when you're playing on stage?
Okay, so it depends on the audience.
Okay, first of all, let's make the United States or San Francisco, and after that, Germany. Oh, no, you never played here, right?
I never played here.
Okay, you definitely have to tell in the comments
Okay.
how it was in Berlin. So, how is it in the United States or in
Okay.
San Francisco?
Audiences are, I love like, I don't know, I guess interacting with the audience, or the audience is such an important part of the performance. You might think they're just sitting there and listening to you, but they're really important. Like you can feel the vibes of the audience. You can feel if they're interested, if they're getting bored, hopefully not. You can feel, right? If they're like really entranced by your music, that's the best case, obviously. And you kind of feed off of your energy in a weird way. Yeah, it really determines how your performance goes. If the audience is like restless, if they drop stuff, if they cough, you know, that's fine, that's normal. But it really affects how a performer feels on stage. So if you're an audience member, please be kind to the performers, be a good audience member. But I've learned to deal with it. You know, whatever happens, I try not to get distracted. I love my audience. I love talking to them because music, after all, is a way of communicating with your audience. And I love that.
Nice.
I love feedback from my audience. Hopefully it's good feedback, but whatever it is, I just love when people come to me and they're like, oh my God, I loved the experience of your music. I just love hearing from my audience, and I love performing in front of people. I think it's great to just share my music, and I love it a lot.
Yeah. Oh, you said that you practice around 4 hours a day. And do you ever feel like you're missing out on being like a normal teenager?
I feel like I've chosen music, or music's chosen me, or both of them, right? And I feel like I hear my dad. So I feel like I've devoted my life to music. That's really deep. But I've chosen to focus on my music and to pour all my effort into my music and all my time, you know. I feel like it's something I really, really love. Of course, there are times when I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to practice today. I feel so unmotivated. There are a lot of those days, but sometimes I'm like, okay, I just want to practice right now. You know, me and my violin, getting better, sharing my music with myself, even if it's with myself. So after like starting practice can be really hard. Picking up my instrument can be really hard. But then once I get into the practice zone and I kind of start for a while and I get really into it, right? Then I feel like practicing is really fun for me and it can be super, super beneficial, of course. So I do not that much feel like I would rather be doing something else than practicing. I really value my time in the practice room, so.
Nice, nice. You're really connected to your music.
Yeah.
I love that. What do your friends not understand about your life?
Okay, there's so much. My friends is in my musician friends or my non-musician friends?
Non-musician friends.
Okay. That's really hard. I love my friends so much, but then I feel like if you're not a musician, you don't understand what it's like to be a musician. It is so hard to be a musician. It's so rewarding, you know. I love being a musician, but it's so, so, so hard a lot of the times because you have to practice and then you have to it's mostly practice. You have to go for lessons. I love my lessons, but sometimes that's really hard. You have rehearsals. It's tiring. It's like emotionally, mentally, you know, it's a lot. So I don't know. There's a lot. You just have to understand like the experience of being a musician and the life and like how much hard work it takes to be a musician. So I really just wish people would understand that, but I try to like not let it affect me and I try to like tell people what it's like. And I think they're great at understanding, but being a musician, it's hard.
Yeah, I totally get that. I can feel that. When you play, what matters more to you, perfection or emotion?
Okay, so I know what I should say, but then I know what I want to say. So
What do you want to say?
I would love to say both. I think I'm a very musical person. So I think emotion always comes first. Like, no matter how much I try with perfection, emotion always comes through. In my lessons, Iskandar's always like, Alexie, don't like turn off the musicality button, right? I just want technique. I just want it clean with rhythm. And I still find a way to be musical because it's just like such an important part of me. So I feel like I'm really musical and I always, no matter what, like my emotion always comes through in my playing. That being said, I know my technique like needs improvement, so I'm always trying to like perfect that. But I think on stage, you should definitely focus on emotion more because at that point, there's not much you can do. Like, as hard as it sounds, there's not much you can do. You should have done that in the practice room, right? On stage, if you're trying to fix something, worry about intonation, it's too late. Just let it happen, you know?
Yeah, totally feel you. Same goes for me when I practice a lot or I read a lot of books and I'm preparing myself, try to get into directing actors, for example. And then when I'm on set, I'm just like in the flow.
Yeah.
There's nothing that I use from my conscious level. Only my subconscious works with the actors, and on set it's like a wild ride. What does it mean to grow up as a classical musician in the US today?
Ooh, that's a very broad question. Okay. So like education-wise, socially, and everything?
Culturally.
Culturally. I think in America, there's so many opportunities, and also in San Francisco, I go to an art school. So my school, there's a bunch of departments, like there's dance, there's some people who paint. I'm in the orchestra department, so I'm at school, I feel at home with a group of friends who are orchestra musicians, or like musicians like me.
Look who's behind you.
Okay. So yeah, I have my orchestra friends, right, at school, and everyone there is like an artist in some way. Musician, maybe a dancer, you know? So I think it's really great. I love my school and I love being in a place surrounded by people who love music and art just as much as I do. So that's school. Opportunities-wise, there's a lot of opportunities for me. I go to the San Francisco Conservatory of Music, so lots of opportunities there. I perform a lot. Which is really great. And again, there I have lots of serious musicians around me. So I think that environment is like very supportive and very like inspiring for me. So I love that. I think it's just great.
Yeah.
The US is a great place for musicians, I think.
Nice, nice. Do you think classical music still has a place in American culture?
Definitely. I think there's like so many genres of music nowadays. There's pop, there's rap. All my friends are like, oh my God, listen to this and this. And I'm like, I only listen to classical because classical, it's so important. It just, like, once you listen to it and once you get yourself into classical music, you like, it's so like therapeutic to listen to and you can get so much out of it. I really, really think classical music is so great. It's just important to remember classical music and to not let it fade away. And I'm trying to like carry that in me. I'm trying to carry on my music and share it. So I really think it does have a place and it should have a place in the US for a long time.
Yeah, agree on that. Who's your favorite artist?
Musical artist, like violinist,
Yeah, yeah.
Iskandar.
Did you hear that, Iskandar?
Iskandar. Okay. I love, I mean, there's people who are so technically perfect, like Augustin Hadalick, Hilary Hahn is amazing. Everyone's amazing. I love Janine Jansen. She's so like musical, so I really look up to her in that respect. Technically, of course, she's amazing too. Everyone is really good. I don't really have a favorite artist. I have many favorite artists. I think everyone has their own like special aspects of where they like, you know, like for me, it's my musicality, but for someone else, it might be their technique, right? I think every artist has so much to offer. And I think it's just great to like experience them. Like if you can go see them live, I've seen a lot of famous artists live and that's been a really wonderful experience for me. But I think you just have to go out there and see who you personally prefer. I think it's definitely subjective, like no one's better, or, you know, but I think everyone's amazing.
Okay, wow, that's quite a lot.
Sorry, I
So
talk a lot.
that's like a good approach. Like you have like a lot of suites, and you choose what you want to focus on in a certain situation. If you want to do more the technique part of playing the violin, or like like flowing like Iskandar does. You've already performed at places like Carnegie Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did it feel different from other stages? Because this is quite famous.
So Carnegie was a few years ago. I'm so honored to have had that opportunity. It was amazing. If you don't mind, I'll talk a little bit about it. Okay.
Please go ahead.
So it was because of the American Prodigy competition. I was selected to play in a winner's recital at Carnegie. I think I was 11 or 12. So, yeah, I was still young. And I was just really excited to get out there, you know, in New York at such a prestigious stage, a prestigious venue. Some of like my friends, like some of my parents' friends or our family friends came out to support me. So it was really great. I got to play a piece I really loved. It was Sarasate Introduction and Tarantelle. And it was a really wonderful experience. And the kids in the recital with me, they were all really friendly and I got to make lots of friends. So that was a great experience. Compared to other venues, it's definitely different. I don't know how. Not necessarily negatively. It was maybe the audience. It was just unfamiliar because New York is not San Francisco, because I'm used to San Francisco, you know. But I think it was just different. I was really nervous, actually. I remember the day before I was rehearsing and Iskandar was like with me. I was rehearsing and I was messing up and I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. And then the day of, I just relaxed and I went on stage and I played it fine. I do get nervous other times, but I don't know. I'm like very hard on myself and I'm very perfectionist. So, sorry, I'm kind of straying from the topic. But I think it depends on the venue, the time of day. I don't perform great at night, in my opinion. I'm always like falling asleep. But I think if I can get myself in the zone, then I'm really locked in for whatever time it is. But it depends on the time, venue, audience members, what piece I'm playing, what pieces maybe. So it just depends on a lot of things, but I think every experience is a great one to learn from and grow from. So I just love every performance.
Oh, wow. Wow. You've written about doubting yourself before competitions. Do those thoughts still show up?
Definitely.
Like a lot, yeah?
Yeah. So I try not to let them affect me. They do show up a lot of the time. But then when I get on stage, I'm just more focused on like my music. So I kind of just try to push them away. I think they make me hard on myself, of course. Like, can be good, can also be bad. So just try not to think about them too much. But yeah.
Yeah. And how do you handle them?
I talk. Like before performances, I'll be like, oh my God, what if this? What if that? And I know I try to like calm down. I try to breathe. And then on stage, they actually like help me in a way. It's part of the adrenaline. So I just let it happen. You know, it's natural. It's part of the process.
So you're going through the process.
Yeah.
Through these thoughts.
Kind
and
of.
Don't fight them.
Yeah, it's like a part of it that you have to handle with.
Oh,
you
nice.
have to handle it, yeah.
Nice. Do you feel connected to the European roots of classical music? And if that's the case, how?
Okay, coming here, definitely. Seeing Iskandar. Iskandar actually says I play in like a very European way. I'm sure he can support that. He's always told me, he's like, you play very European? I don't know what that means, but I do feel connected. I like the composers, I study the music, I analyze it. Recordings, you know, certain styles of playing that you can hear in different artists. So I really do feel connected to the roots of classical music in Europe. So yeah, just everywhere in any way, shape or form.
I probably can feel that, but can you get more into detail about, like, when Iskandar is saying that you are playing in a European way? There must be a difference to your other students in your college or in your school.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the difference? Why is he allowed to say something rude to you?
It's not rude.
Of course it's not.
It's just interesting,
Yeah.
I would say. I don't know, I guess it's just the way I play, my interpretations, my style. I'm very musical, I've said it a lot. I guess it just reminds him of, I don't know, the European way, a European way of playing. Yeah, and I embrace it, you know. Yeah.
But he's outside, right?
Yeah, we can, you can
Iskandar?
ask him.
Iskandar? Excuse me. Wir brauchen dich mal kurz eine Sekunde. Iskandar, please come in. Come between us. Come between us. Come between us. Come between us. Come between us.
Okay.
So, we have a question for you.
Please.
Once upon a time, you were telling her that she's playing very European.
I didn't say it wrong.
What does it mean?
It is something hard to explain because it's about energies, feelings, little nuances, stylistic choices. And I would say that Europe sort of is the old world, right? It is where the biggest, greatest composers of all times have
Of classical music.
Have lived, worked, especially Germany. Proud to say that. It's the country of the geniuses such as Bach, Brahms, you know, Mozart, Beethoven. So Mozart is actually Austria, but it's one thing. And so, having grown up here, you kind of assimilate, and the culture, you're soaking in the culture that you breathe every day. And it is something that is inexplicable because it is just, the energy here in Europe is different than elsewhere in the world. And it deeply influences your style. You can definitely tell when a violinist, in our case, has studied in Europe or has been growing up here and has assimilated to the culture over here. So it's mainly a cultural thing, actually, I would say. And that influences the style of how you interpret a certain style of music. And there's different schools still present in our world. We would say for violin. There's the Chinese school, there's the Russian school, there's the American school, German school. These schools nowadays blend a lot because of globalization, because of, I don't know, social media, YouTube, whatever. But they're still apparent in a way. So you can still kind of feel and breathe that somebody has studied in a certain area of the world. It's just slight little differences. And Alexie definitely is an old soul. She understands Bach very deeply for her young age. It's quite impressive how receptive she is and how quick she understands the language of a composer who has been working very far from her birthplace. But at the same time, she's very quick to adapt to these styles. So I would call her playing a blend of many different influences, but definitely also European one. Thank you. Bye.
Hi, Iskandar.
Thank you, Iskandar.
Interesting.
He could explain it better than me. I didn't even fully know what he meant.
I never thought about it.
Yeah,
to be
me neither.
honest. Yeah. Maybe we can write a whole book about this topic.
Probably.
Yeah, totally. Okay, my last question.
Okay.
And then you are released. Okay, actually it's 1.5.
Okay.
What kind of artist and person do you hope to become in the future?
Ooh. What kind? Hopefully classical. I see myself as a classical musician for a long, long time. I think it's my passion. I've been doing it for so long. It chose me. I chose it. I would, and in any way, shape, or form, a teacher, a soloist, orchestral musician.
Say hi.
Hi.
It's wild in here.
Yeah, it is. So many people, so much talent, so many interesting musicians. Okay, so. Just a classical musician. I would love to teach. I don't know if I would be good at it right now. Probably not. I need to gain more experience, obviously. I need to grow up a bit more and find where I really find my true passion in music, because there's so much in music. You can teach, you can perform, you can do chamber music. I love chamber music too. So that might be one, because chamber music, you have like a few other people, but it's one piece still. You have such complex parts, and you're like communicating together and you're bringing this music to life. So chamber music is one part, right? And then there's so many other parts of music. I think I really have to explore a bit more as I grow up, which area of music I love the most, but definitely something to do with music. I just hope to share my love of music with everyone else and share it with the world. I don't know. I can probably answer that question better when I'm older, but that's where I'm at right now.
We meet again in 10 years.
Yeah, I'll be back in Berlin.
Or hopefully I'll be in San Francisco.
Yeah, you should come.
Okay, the last question. In Germany right now, the society is like dividing into the left and to the right, and same goes for the United States, as far as I observed it lately. And do you think we as artists have a responsibility to make music, to make art, and through our art to support like a healing process?
Okay. That's a very interesting question. I've never thought about it. So healing, yes, music definitely heals. I think when you hear it, when you play it for me even, it heals me. When I share my music, when I perform, I feel so rewarded. I feel so like rejuvenated. I don't know, it's hard to explain. Obviously, I feel tired after I perform. Performing so tiring. But I just love it. Sharing my music with the audience, it really heals your soul. Listening to music, I've listened to so much classical music, in person, on YouTube, whatever it is, and it really heals your soul. You internalize it, and it affects your thoughts and your mind and your heart and your body and everything. So I definitely think music is like a way for me to escape whatever's going on in my life, whether it's like school, politics. I'm not that politically active or whatever, but
I feel you.
Yeah. So I try not to think about that, but whatever it is, school's stressful, any other forms of stress, family, my family's fine, but like whatever it might be that I'm thinking about, I put that aside, I play my music, and I just get into this zone and it heals me. And I think it does that too for a lot of other people. And that's what I really love about it. I think it has this really healing quality to it. What's life like in Germany? My questions are so broad. Socially, culturally, everything.
For me, I grew up in Hamburg, northern Germany, and I was an artist throughout my life. Since I was like, I inherited my grandmother's camera, 8mm camera, when I was like 4, 5, and we were starting shooting with the neighbors' kids in the neighborhood, some short films, you know, and it was really, it was awkward because art is not that common to Germans in everyday life, especially when it comes to film or to video. And I don't want to spread hard opinions, but in Germany, many people are afraid to stand out. So everything is like beige, very bureaucratic, very slow, very like suspicious. And you get that vibe that feels like concrete, you know? It's not like, in my opinion, how I flow, it's like, it's quite the opposite how the most Germans flow, and that's why I'm constantly in clash with them. Most Germans won't agree. They like me. Most Germans actually like me, but for me, it's like that's like I'm draining. My creative energy is draining all the time. You know, it feels like that.
It's hard to be an artist.
In Germany, yeah, but you can make it. It's not like you can't make it or that there aren't any opportunities. Of course, Iskandar, but for me, it's more important to have fun along the way than achieve a trophy or something like that. And this part, having fun during that journey is like, you really have to focus on the tiny details to find joy in small things in Germany. And then you can have like enough energy to make the whole process. But the whole process is like, it feels like when you're working with some Germans, it feels like you're talking to the tax office. Like, it's not very attractive, you know? And they are like always problem focused instead of solution focused. Like when I'm working with Americans, it's like they're from a different planet.
So you said you would love to move to the US. Can you tell me a bit more about that? You talked a little bit about working with Americans, your interactions with them. What about the US appeals to you? Do you have any like plans in particular? Any like fears maybe or like...
No. Not fierce. Not fierce. Really not fierce at all, because the American approach, in my opinion, the essence of it is that you like do try and error until it works. And this is my approach too. Like I read a lot, but I'm more like, if there's something really important to me, I really try it till it works.
Okay.
And same goes for the Americans. They are not like reading all the handbooks like most Germans do. They're just like put in the plug and start and press record and looks what comes out. And that's more my approach. And I think it's very healthy because children learn the same way to get in contact with their surrounding area, with this planet Earth. And yeah. Now I'm drifting away from a question.
It's okay. It's so interesting.
Wow. And with these words, we finish this interview episode with Alexie Koh. And yeah, see you next time. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button.
Thank you.
Bye.
Schnitzel goes to Hollywood, just like he always said he would. New episode, here we go.